The world is currently experiencing an unprecedented and alarming increase in global temperatures, signaling a critical phase in the ongoing climate crisis. This surge in temperatures has raised profound concerns about the future of our planet. The consequences of this trend are far-reaching, impacting everything from weather patterns to sea levels, ecosystems, and even human societies. It is against this backdrop of urgency and impending danger that we turn our attention to one of the most influential voices in the fight against climate change. Enter Elon Musk, a visionary entrepreneur and innovator who has consistently used his platform to advocate for urgent action to combat climate change. Musk's influence extends far beyond his endeavors in technology and space exploration. He has become a prominent advocate for addressing the climate crisis, emphasizing the need for immediate and substantial action. His contributions to sustainable energy and transportation technologies are testament to his dedication to finding solutions to one of the most pressing challenges of our time. In what may be considered his final and most urgent warning, Musk lays out a stark reality that demands our attention. He elucidates the dire consequences that humanity faces if we fail to take immediate action to address climate change. His message is a call to arms, a plea for collective responsibility, and a reminder that the choices we make today will shape the world that future generations inherit. Musk's urgency underscores the gravity of the situation and serves as a rallying cry for us all to join the fight against climate change. Understanding the carbon cycle. The natural carbon cycle is a fundamental process that governs the flow of carbon in our environment. At its core, the carbon cycle is a complex system through which carbon circulates between various components of the Earth's biosphere. This includes the atmosphere, land, plants, animals, and oceans. It operates in a delicate balance that has evolved over millions of years, playing a crucial role in regulating the planet's climate. Carbon's journey through this cycle is a dynamic interplay between different elements of the Earth's ecosystems. Carbon dioxide, a key component, is released into the atmosphere through natural processes like respiration and volcanic activity. From there, it finds its way into plants during photosynthesis, a process by which plants convert carbon dioxide into vital components like oxygen, sugars, and other organic compounds. Animals then consume these plants, incorporating carbon into their own biological structures. The cycle comes full circle when these plants and animals eventually pass away. Decomposers play a pivotal role in this stage, breaking down organic matter and releasing carbon back into the environment, primarily in the form of carbon dioxide. This seamless movement of carbon through various spheres is what sustains the delicate equilibrium that has characterized Earth's climate for eons. Understanding the intricacies of this cycle provides crucial insights into how human activities have disrupted this balance and contributed to the current climate crisis. It underscores the urgency of re-establishing equilibrium through meaningful action and intervention. Human impact on the carbon cycle. Since the onset of the Industrial Revolution, human activities have instigated a significant disruption in the natural carbon cycle. This pivotal period in history, characterized by widespread industrialization, marked a sharp departure from the equilibrium that had been maintained for millennia. The advent of machinery, the widespread use of fossil fuels, and the rapid expansion of urban centers led to a surge in carbon emissions. This was primarily due to the combustion of coal, oil, and gas, which released unprecedented amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. As a result, the finely tuned balance of the carbon cycle was disrupted, setting in motion a series of cascading environmental consequences. The burning of fossil fuels emerged as the primary driver behind the surge in carbon emissions. This practice, which became integral to industrialization, transportation, and energy production, released vast quantities of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Unlike natural processes, which release carbon in a balanced manner, human activities overwhelm the Earth's ecosystem's capacity to absorb and process this excess carbon. This led to a rapid and sustained buildup of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, exacerbating the greenhouse effect and contributing to global warming. The sheer volume of carbon emissions from human activities has overwhelmed the Earth's natural system's ability to absorb and process carbon. While the carbon cycle has evolved over millions of years to maintain a stable carbon concentration in the atmosphere, the unprecedented surge in emissions from industrialization and the burning of fossil fuels has disrupted this balance. The consequences of this disruption are profound and far-reaching, as it directly contributes to the escalating levels of atmospheric carbon and subsequently to the ongoing climate crisis. Consequences of increased atmospheric carbon. Carbon dioxide, a naturally occurring component of the Earth's atmosphere, serves as a potent greenhouse gas. Its role in regulating the Earth's temperature is crucial for maintaining a habitable climate. However, the surge in atmospheric carbon levels has intensified the greenhouse effect. Carbon dioxide molecules trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere, preventing it from dissipating into space. This phenomenon, known as the greenhouse effect, is responsible for the rise in global temperatures, a phenomenon commonly referred to as global warming. Global warming, an immediate consequence of increased atmospheric carbon, heralds a wide-ranging set of impacts on the environment and human societies. As temperatures continue to rise, we can anticipate more frequent and severe extreme weather events. This includes events such as hurricanes, droughts, heat waves, and intense rainfall, all of which have the potential to disrupt communities and ecosystems. Additionally, the warming climate contributes to rising sea levels, a consequence of the melting polar ice caps and glaciers. Coastal areas face an increased risk of flooding, leading to the displacement of communities and the loss of critical habitats. The ramifications of heightened atmospheric carbon levels extend beyond mere temperature increases. Ecosystems around the world are experiencing disruptions. Species are struggling to adapt to rapidly changing conditions, and many face the threat of extinction. Coral reefs, for example, are especially vulnerable to the combined effects of warming oceans and ocean acidification, which is linked to higher carbon levels. These interconnected consequences underscore the urgency of mitigating further carbon emissions and implementing strategies to adapt to the changes that are already underway. Historical levels of atmospheric carbon. For millions of years, the levels of carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere remained remarkably stable, hovering around 300 parts per million. This stability played a critical role in maintaining the delicate balance of the Earth's climate over extended periods. The consistency of these concentrations allowed for the development and evolution of the intricate ecosystems that support life on our planet. It served as a foundation for the stability and predictability that characterized the Earth's climate for eons. However, over the past few centuries, particularly since the Industrial Revolution, there has been a rapid and unprecedented increase in atmospheric carbon levels. This surge is directly attributable to human activities, especially the widespread combustion of fossil fuels for various industrial, transportation, and energy needs. This marked departure from historical carbon levels has initiated a series of climatic changes that are reshaping the very foundation of our environment. At present, atmospheric carbon concentrations have exceeded 400 parts per million, a threshold not seen in millions of years. This dramatic increase serves as a sobering reminder of the profound impact human activities have had on the Earth's atmosphere. It underscores the urgency of collective action to curb emissions and transition towards sustainable practices. The current trajectory, if left unchecked, holds the potential to usher in a future characterized by unprecedented environmental challenges and disruptions. Effects of global warming. One of the most tangible and immediate consequences of global warming is the rapid melting of polar ice caps and glaciers. These frozen expanses, which play a critical role in regulating sea levels, are experiencing unprecedented rates of melt. The influx of fresh water into the oceans contributes to rising sea levels, posing a significant threat to coastal communities worldwide. Low-lying coastal areas face an increased risk of flooding, displacing millions and leading to the loss of valuable land and infrastructure. Coastal areas are not the only regions affected by the impacts of global warming. Habitats around the world are undergoing substantial shifts. Ecosystems, both on land and in the oceans, are struggling to adapt to rapidly changing conditions. This can lead to disruptions in the availability of resources, affecting not only wildlife, but also human communities that rely on these ecosystems for sustenance and livelihoods. Additionally, as sea levels rise, saltwater intrusion can contaminate freshwater sources, exacerbating the challenges faced by communities in affected regions. The effects of global warming are interconnected and span various aspects of human society. The strain on resources, such as water and food, can lead to conflicts and geopolitical tensions. Additionally, the economic impacts of climate-related disasters can be devastating, affecting industries ranging from agriculture to tourism. Furthermore, the loss of biodiversity and disruptions to ecosystems have far-reaching consequences for human health and well-being. Addressing global warming requires a holistic approach that takes into account the complex web of interactions between the environment, society, and the economy. Transitioning to sustainable energy sources. It is increasingly evident that the transition away from finite fossil fuels is an inevitability we must face. Fossil fuels, including coal, oil, and natural gas, are finite resources that are extracted from the Earth's crust. As we continue to consume these non-renewable resources, they become increasingly scarce and more challenging to extract. Eventually, there will come a point when the costs and efforts required to extract these fuels will outweigh the benefits. This necessitates a fundamental shift towards more sustainable and renewable sources of energy. Renewable energy sources offer a multitude of advantages over fossil fuels. These sources, which include solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and nuclear power, harness naturally occurring processes that do not deplete over time. For instance, solar energy utilizes the abundant power of sunlight, while wind energy taps into prevailing wind currents. These sources provide a clean and sustainable alternative to traditional methods of energy generation. They produce little to no greenhouse gas emissions, significantly mitigating the impacts of climate change and reducing air pollution. Reducing our dependence on fossil fuels is a crucial step towards a cleaner and more sustainable future. The shift to renewable energy sources not only mitigates the environmental impact of energy production, but also creates opportunities for economic growth and innovation. Additionally, transitioning to sustainable energy sources enhances energy security, reducing reliance on geopolitically unstable regions for energy supplies. This shift is not only necessary for addressing the climate crisis, but also presents an opportunity for positive transformation and a more sustainable future for generations to come.